Hi everyone, welcome back to We Will Latina in Classical Art. In this video, we'll be going over the art of Pompeii and Herculaneum. So to start off with, we need to cover the four styles of painting, and these are those four styles, and they were classified by August Ma, a 19th century German scholar, and he came up with these classifications while studying the wall paintings of Pompeii. So we have the first style, which is from around the second century BC, and it imitates stone masonry. So you can see all the way on the left, it's not, there's no humans, there's no animals, no landscapes. It's just like stones and different colored wall decorations that might have be like in some instances might be engraved or three-dimensional, but in this first style, they were painted onto the wall. And then we have the second style, which is from around the first century BC, and it introduces images and landscapes surrounded by an architectural frame, extending the interior space by the use of perspective, and the illusions were always rational and naturalistic. So you can see here, it's a very lifelike rendition of some architecture and outdoor landscapes that you might find, but they're painting them on the walls to kind of expand their indoor spaces. And then we have the third style, which is from around 20 BC to 20 AD, and it emphasized the flat, confining nature of the walls and is characterized by the use of delicate and sophisticated details and denied all appearances of rationality and logic. So a very 180 flip from the second style. And the walls were painted a solid color like red, black, or white, and then would have very slender architectural elements to kind of create frames. And then we have the fourth style, which is from around 20 AD to 79 AD, which is when the eruption of Mount Vesuvius buried Pompeii and the surrounding cities. And it was a combination of the second and third styles, and kind of gave this elaborate Baroque illusionism. And let me just back up to kind of give context for this Pompeii and Herculaneum and all that. So it was buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, and then it was rediscovered in the 18th century. So that's when they were excavating all of this and, you know, rediscovering these beautiful frescoes and artworks. So some examples of these different styles. There's not really famous examples of the first style, but for the second style, we have the Villa of the Mysteries. So this is one of the most famous houses found at Pompeii. And this is a famous painting from there, but pretty much all the wall paintings there are in this second style. And so you can see here, there's these, very lifelike people, animals. You don't see much of the outside. You see some architectural elements, but it's supposed to be very logical, lifelike, rational. And then we have the bedroom from Boscoriale, which was kind of like a nearby resort town to Pompeii. But you can see here, uh, it's very full of these architectural elements, outdoor elements, that are expanding the inside of the room to make it bigger. Um, bring the indoors inside. I mean, bring the outdoors inside. Um, and this room is now displayed in the Met in New York. So they like basically reconstructed it inside the Met. And then for the third style, we have the Domus Aurea frescoes. So when I was talking about the Domus Aurea in the last video, I mentioned that their paintings there are in this third style. So you can see here the very blank walls and these solid colors. You see reds, yellows, whites, and then there's these decorations, these ornamental design choices that are not meant to be very realistic. There are like, humans or gods kind of depicted, but they're not meant to create an illusion. They're basically meant for the opposite of that. So you can see these here. And then we also have the Bosco Trecasse frescoes in this third style, which are also on display in the Met. But again, you can see it very clearly with these. There is a colorful, plain background in these solid colors. And then these small little designs uh, in these framed sections of the wall that are not meant to create illusion or anything like that. And then for the fourth style, we have the Ixion room at in the House of the Vettii, which is another extremely famous room from Pompeii, or in an extremely famous house, the House of the Vettii. And this is the Ixion room. So again, the fourth style is a combination of the second and third styles. So you'll see here on the left and right walls are more of those third style with a plain, colorful background, in this case white, with some ornamentation and an image in the center. And then that back wall is more meant to create an illusion with the architecture and some more life-size people. So those are some prime examples of these styles of Pompeian wall paintings. And then next we have the Alexander mosaic, which was found in the House of the Faun. And again, the House of the Faun is a very famous house in Pompeii. And the Alexander mosaic is a copy of a 3rd century BC Greek painting. And it depicts Alexander the Great's victory over the Persian king Darius. So Alexander the Great is pictured here on the left, and this is a very, very famous depiction of him. And I mean, this looks like a painting because of how well it was done, and it is composed of about 1 million mosaic pieces. So it's really meant to give that painting appearance while being a mosaic, and it's on the floor. Here it might look like it's on the wall, but it was a floor mosaic.